Today we are making baked cheesy chicken wraps, or so-called enchiladas. This is a very easy recipe, but it's packed with flavor. And to make it even better, we are making our own enchilada sauce, because why would you buy it when you can make it? Cook this recipe for your friends and your family, and I can guarantee you that you're gonna put a big smile on their face with minimum cooking skills and minimum effort. And if you're first time on this channel, this is Kitchen Draft, the place where you can learn how to cook or improve your cooking skills. So smash that subscribe button if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you at the end of this video. Enjoy! We start by prepping our chicken, and we're gonna get rid of all this fat that's surrounding the breast. Make sure that marinating the chicken is the first thing you do. This way the meat will have enough time to retain all the nice flavor from the spices we'll be adding. And to get the best results, start marinating the chicken a day in advance. Talking about the marinade, we're gonna be adding half teaspoon of salt, freshly grounded black pepper, a good pinch of that, a quarter of teaspoon of ground cumin, a quarter of teaspoon of ground coriander, a quarter of teaspoon of Cajun spices, a quarter of teaspoon of chili flakes, 3 cloves of minced garlic, a quarter of teaspoon of smoked paprika, and to help us combine all these ingredients together, we're gonna be adding 3 tablespoons of veg oil. Now let's get our hands in and make sure that your chicken gets evenly coated with all those spices that we previously added. Now place this in the fridge, and with our chicken marinating, we can move on with the prep. Now it's time to make our enchilada sauce, and for this I'm using 3 tablespoons of veg oil, 1 chopped large onion, and 3 cloves of minced garlic. Give this a good stir and cook for about 5 minutes or until the onion becomes translucent. Similar to the chicken and marinade spices, we are seasoning our garlic and onion mix. One of the biggest mistakes people make in the kitchen is not seasoning the food properly. So keep this in mind and make sure you pay attention to this important step. Give it a good mix and cook for another minute before you can add your peeled plum tomatoes. After adding the tomatoes, just grab a fork and simply crush them. There is no blender needed. The crushed tomatoes have the perfect texture for this recipe, and saving you from washing the blender always helps. Cook it on low heat for 10 minutes and set it aside afterwards. Besides of adding chicken to our enchiladas, I'm gonna prepare some Julienne vegetables. It's entirely up to you what you're using, but in today's recipe I'm using red peppers and onions. And a bit more garlic, and don't worry, it's not too much. Just use a bit more garlic and you'll be fine. Let's prep this garlic as a professional chef would. Chop the garlic, sprinkle with salt, and press and scrape your blade against the pile of garlic at this angle. Repeat the process for 1 or 2 minutes. Preparing the red peppers, it's easy. All you have to do is remove the core and the seeds out, and after that, with a rocking motion, we're gonna slice them into julienne, and don't worry if they're not exactly the same. They'll be absolutely fine. It's time to transfer everything to the pan. The temperature is set to medium high, and we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of veg oil. Add the onion followed by the peppers and cook these until they start becoming nice and golden in color. So we season our chicken and we season our sauce, but don't forget about our vegetables. Once again, the spices are very similar with what we used before. So what we did in this recipe, we basically spreaded all those spices between 3 main components: the chicken, the sauce, and the vegetables. This ensures that each one of our 3 components gets well seasoned and in perfect balance with the others. Our peppers and onions are well seasoned and caramelized, but something is missing, so I'm adding the juice of a half lime. The vegetables are all done, so let's just move to the next step. To cook the chicken, set the pan on medium-high heat and add 2 tablespoons of veg oil. You don't want to cook your chicken all the way through, just make sure you give it a nice color, and the rest of the cooking process will happen in the next step. Bring to the boil the enchilada sauce that we cooked earlier. Add the chicken breast one by one, put the lid on, and cook these on low heat for 15 minutes. After cooking for 15 minutes, the chicken will get nice and tender, and it will absorb like a sponge all that nice flavor from the sauce. My enchilada sauce is a bit too thin, so I'm gonna reduce it for another 5 minutes. To shred the chicken, we need 2 forks, one to keep it steady and the other one to scrape and tear the chicken flesh into small shredded pieces. Now that we've got ready our ingredients, we are ready to roll our shredded chicken enchiladas. First layer we're adding is the pepper and onion mix, followed by the shredded chicken, and on top of that we're gonna go with some cheese. This is a fairly easy process. First fold the sides, after that roll over using your thumbs to keep it nice and tight. Now place the rolled enchilada wraps one next to another so they don't unfold during cooking. Our tomato sauce is at the perfect consistency, so we're just gonna place it on top of the wrap. After adding the tomato sauce, we're gonna sprinkle a good amount of cheese to make our enchiladas nice and cheesy. Now the tray will go into the oven at the temperature of 180 degrees Celsius for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes later, our shredded chicken enchiladas are ready. Look at that color, just perfect and ready to go in the plate. I'm serving my enchiladas with a sprinkle of spring onions and green chili peppers. A bit of lime and we are ready to go. And there you have it, the best baked cheesy chicken wraps or enchiladas. That was Kitchen Raw for today, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and obviously if you did, give it a thumbs up because this will mean the world to me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because the mission of getting those 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year is still ongoing. Share this with your friends and your family and let me know in the comments down below what do you think about this recipe. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, stay at home and cook at home. Ciao.